Hi, Lisa. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'll read your letter, and then I'll just chat with you about what worked and what suggestions I might have. Susan Taylor is having a career meltdown. It doesn't help that she's having it in the middle of a ballroom at a world-class resort in front of her customers and co-workers on New Year's Eve. In her defense, the bellman shouldn't have filled the balloon drop with helium, and the big shot CEO shouldn't have shoved his whole head into the champagne fountain. About to turn 30, Susan's been thrust into a job that's smack in the middle of a funky New Age town where her hippie landlord hosts naked baptisms and secretly doses Susan with peyote to help her fight a cold, and her college boyfriend just dumped her on New Year's Eve. Susan's boss is a tyrant, and the only shoulder she has to lean on is a gay Latin waiter with a thing for cowboys who wants to use Susan as a beard to go line dancing. But one night under the glow of a full moon, Susan succumbs to romance and struggles to balance love with a job that's 24/7. She begins to question everything and finds herself torn between her aspirations in the corporate hospitality business and the hippie culture she now calls home, which may or may not be a commune. With irreverent humor, a career-driven Susan Taylor leads us on an eye-opening romp through the back corridors of the hotel business. Her softer side is revealed when we discover, along with her, that Egyptian cotton linens and overpriced champagne can't hold a candle to full moons, drum beats, and the sweet, intoxicating scent of lavender. Fresh on the heels of Jacoby Tomsky's New York Times bestseller Heads in Beds, my novel about Susan's journey, Finding the Mood, takes on the hotel business with a woman's point of view. My novel is complete at 75,000 words and available upon request. 9 years ago, I left a 15-year career in the hotel business. Since then, I have written hundreds of feature articles, a documentary film that screened at both the Ojai and Santa Barbara Film Festival, and a handful of one-act plays, 2 of which were produced at theaters in Southern California. My short story about the son of a migrant farm worker was published in an anthology last year. My writing received an award at the Writer's Digest 74th Annual Writing Competition and took first place in the Writer's Helper 2001 Dead of Winter contest. I hold a Bachelor of Science degree in Hotel Management from the California Polytech Institute University at Pomona. Thank you for considering my work. I look forward to hearing from you sincerely. Okay, so a couple of things that I made notes of when I read this. I think I read it yesterday as well. We do not have a sense of what year this is, and I think that even though I know that you took out the reference to Y2K or whatever it's called, but I think we do need some a time frame here, because is this a hippie town in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s? I think it makes a difference. So I think you should just lightly set it, let us know when this is. And then it says that she is, the title also should be bled through a bit more than it is, Lisa. So Finding the Mood, let's get it in up top and then, bleed it through one more time at least. And then a couple of other things. Your last paragraph has far too much information about your credits, and so I would like you to just take a look at that and get rid of everything that is not germane to this story that you're trying to sell. You can say that you've had a documentary film produced, you've had you're a freelancer with a short story published, documentary produced, 2 one-act plays done, but get rid of all the other references, because that will just consolidate that very nicely. The only one I would keep would be the Writer's Digest 74th Annual Writing Competition, because that's a brand that we know and an agent would know. So you can get rid of some words there for sure. I think that the thing that, by comparing this to the bestseller Heads in Beds, I'm not familiar with that, but if that was about the hotel business, which I'm assuming that it was, and you're saying that hers is from a female point of view, so she's going to tackle that industry from a female point of view, and I'm assuming that Jacoby tackled it from the male point of view, and again, I'm just guessing here. But if that's true, then I want to see a woman's point of view in here, and that would suggest corporate woman point of view. And I actually don't. What I see is that there's a girl here at the age of 30 going through what many, many young women who are on the career path go through in their late 20s and early 30s, which is, do I want to continue down this road, or do I want to blend my life with somebody else's? So I think that that's a fairly classic romance that you're telling here. So it doesn't, do you know what I mean? If there's going to be something in here that really gives us a female point of view about that business, then I think that we should put that in there, and so that we can see it and that tell us about it. But if it isn't that, I would get rid of that comparing Finding the Mood to Heads in Beds. You can compare them, but I wouldn't then promise a woman's point of view, if the corporate side of this story is secondary to the romance. Do you know what I mean? So if this is a romance about a woman coming of age at 30 who, hits a crossroads and is going to go down one road or another, then that's cool. Then the hotel industry is the backdrop to that. But if this is going to be, a type A personality who really comes to a screaming halt when she finds love under a full moon one night, then I think we should see that woman a bit more than we see her. We see the people around her, but we don't quite see her. The thing about her having peyote is kind of funny. So maybe if this is going to be one of those kind of romps, maybe a bit more of that, and a bit more of the hippie landlord and the gay Latin waiter and the peyote, and maybe more of that and less of the hotel, if in fact it's going to be more about a shift in lifestyle. Do you see? So I hope that this is helpful to you. And that's about it. That's all I got. Okay. I hope to see you soon. It was wonderful having you in my class. Toodles.